Hi guys, and welcome back to the Early Bird Photo News. I'm actually so excited to be able to say these words again because never in my wildest dreams would I have thought that I will be down basically on my knees, bedridden for 4 months, lose 25 kilos and not have the ability to edit videos or take my camera out into the field. So it has been a very challenging time for me, and now being able to finally stand in front of the camera just feels amazing. I'm so happy that I'm able to reconnect with all of you. Of course, it's still a long way of recovery ahead of me, and it will take a while until I'll be back at 100% out there in the field photographing all these birds. So for now, I'm actually just grateful that I'm able to do a video like I'm doing right now. What has definitely helped me a lot through these challenging times is the support that I receive from this awesome community that we've built here. I got daily messages of support of all of you wondering where the heck I was and if I was alright. So knowing that there's so many of you out there that care about me, that want to see my content, really helped me to stay on track mentally and to recover faster and to get to the point where I'm right now. So big thanks to all of you. Of course, while I was gone, a lot has happened in the world of photography. So I'll do my best to catch up with all the important topics, but I'll probably not be able to do 2 videos per week just yet because I still have to watch my health and recovery. But what I'm going to do is edit some of the videos that I actually filmed before I get sick. So you see some older videos with chubby Jan and some newer videos just like the one today. And then over time, hopefully I will be able to do 2 videos per week again. One video in particular I'm super excited to edit is one that I wanted to edit for such a long time now. It's about photographing birds of paradise displaying in the deep dark rainforest in far north Queensland. So I'm super excited to share that video with you. And while I was sick, my friend and co-host of the bird photography show, Glenn Bartley, also visited Australia. And unfortunately, we weren't able to do everything we wanted due to my health condition, but we were still able to get some amazing birds and videos. And that we're going to share in a future episode of the bird photography show with you very soon. One camera we were the very first channel to talk about and that got released while I was down is the Canon R6 Mark II. On paper, the R6 Mark II sounds like an amazing camera. 24 megapixels, up to 40 frames per second, much improved autofocus and much improved video features with less overheating. So now you might ask, why isn't there a Canon R6 Mark II in my hands? And the main reason is the camera I'm currently filming on, which is the Canon R3. Because personally, I feel like the R3 and the R6 double up on so many features, and the R3 is superior in a lot of areas. For instance, it can shoot 4K 120 frames per second, and that's important to me. So having an R3 kind of makes an R6 Mark II redundant for me, but if I didn't have an R3, I would have definitely picked up a Canon R6 Mark II, especially as a video-centric camera, because 24 megapixels for bird photography is still something I struggle with slightly. And even my Canon R3 I use mainly for action when the birds are close and video work. For all other work, I'm just in love with my 2 R5 bodies. So while the R6 sounds great and it's an amazing all-round camera for many people out there, for me the combo of R3 and R5 just seems better suited at the moment. But I'd love to hear from all of you who've already looked at the R6 Mark II or own one. How are you going with the camera? Are you loving it? Are you hating it? Make sure to let me know down there in the comments. One camera I still own but haven't used that much, but also couldn't get myself to sell it, is the Canon R7. And I think it's actually an interesting question for many of you out there. Would you buy an R7 or an R6 Mark II for wildlife photography? There's many things I love about the R7 and there's a few things that drive me crazy. And I think it's fair to say that overall the R6 Mark II is the superior camera. It's faster, it has less rolling shutter, it has better autofocus, better video features, but also comes at a higher price. And if you ask me, I think except for 2 areas, the R6 Mark II is definitely the superior camera, and for our round shooters, probably the better choice. However, those 2 areas are very important for us wildlife and bird photographers because we often shoot small subjects, and that's where the R7 really shines, and that's the main reason I haven't actually sold mine yet, because in combination with my 100 to 500mm lens, for instance, it's just an amazing walk around combo with a lot of fantastic reach of up to 800mm effective focal length in just a tiny small package. and then having the ability to also crop into those 35 megapixel files is just amazing. That's why I think that a lot of people will actually opt for an R7 that's also cheaper rather than an R6 Mark II when it comes to wildlife and bird photography. However, if you're an all-round shooter or if you shoot a lot of action or a lot of low light, I think the R6 Mark II might actually be the better choice. What do you think? If you're interested, I might actually make a video with both cameras down the track, but for now I'd love to hear from you. R7 or R6 Mark II? Have you made that choice? Or maybe you have both of these cameras, because I think that could be a great combination as well. Make sure to let me know in the comments, because I'd really like to hear what choices you've made when it comes to those cameras. However, no matter what camera you own, it's very important that you learn how to edit your images and get the absolute most out of your raw files. And that's where I would love to help you with my Pro Sets and my editing masterclass. With my Pro Sets, I allow you with just one click to transform your raw files into fantastic starting points for the editing process. And then in my masterclass, I teach you step by step all the necessary tools in Photoshop that you need to know to make your own images look absolutely amazing. So if that's of interest to you, make sure to check out both of these down there in the description. I also owe you an update on this bad boy, my RF f4 600mm prime lens. If you remember correctly, I got it a few months ago and then sent it off to Canon pretty quickly because I felt like something may be slightly off with that lens. Because in a few situations, especially in situations where you shoot a burst and there's a lot of vertical elements in your image, you can sometimes see kind of wobbles going through your photos. It's hard to see in just a single file, but it's relatively easy to see in a big burst of images that you scroll through quickly. So while I'll think most people won't ever notice this issue, it's just something that I noticed when I tested the lens. So send it off to Canon. They looked into it for a while and there hasn't really been a true solution yet. It seems to be an issue of the slow readout speed of most of the Canon sensor in combination with the IBIS and how the camera communicates with the image stabilization in the lens. So all of these moving parts combined in combination with the electronic shutter kind of cause some movement here and there. So what's the solution? Am I going to sell this lens? No, because I just love how it handles in the field, how fast it is, how good the image stabilization is, and how light it is to carry around. So I'm going to keep it around, and what I will do to circumvent the problem is I use the mechanical shutter or the first curtain electronic shutter, because with both of these the issue is not visible. So the only issue I have then is that I can't always shoot completely silent. If I want to shoot silent, I will use the electronic shutter. I'll just use it a bit more sparingly than I would have used otherwise, knowing that when I use it, I might get some of these bobbles in my files. But for now, I'm pretty happy with the lens and I'm definitely going to keep it. Talking about 600mm lenses, I'm also currently planning on selling my EF 600mm version 2 lens. A little bit heavier than the f1. So if one of you wants to get one of the best Canon lenses ever made and a lens that I've taken most of my bird images with, where you know it's absolutely sharp and amazing, you know where to contact me and maybe we can work out a deal. And guys, what you do if you're basically stuck in your bed for a few months, you're on the internet a lot and of course you're looking for things to buy. For instance, I got myself this awesome small rig cage and handle and a few more accessories for my R3 because for now, I had a very dodgy setup in the field when it comes to filming with my R3 because I just had an LED light on top and then a few things just hanging off the camera. I'll now have this cage, this handle can go on top, and it also comes with a few awesome accessories that will allow me to attach everything I need to directly to the cage and have it all safe and stable in the field. Of course, I haven't been able to use the products in the field just yet for obvious reasons, but I'm really looking forward to using them and make my video filming experience so much better. If you want to check out SmallRig and their awesome products because they're great quality with great packaging, I linked them all for you down there in the description. When I was talking to SmallRig, they actually also asked me if I wanted to test out one of their little video tripods, and of course I wanted to. And when it arrived, I was also again impressed with the awesome packaging, the nice case it came in, the nice little video head. But before I could actually test it in the field as well, it had an unfortunate accident. We were driving down the highway, turning right into a car park, and while we were turning, one of the rear windows on the canopy of my car opened and the tripod in the back fell out onto the street. And before I realized what even happened, someone else picked it up and drove off with it. So for obvious reasons now I can't test it, but my first impression was very good, and I guess it speaks for the brand if people don't even let it lie on the street for 2 seconds without taking it and driving off with it. While I was away, Nikon and Sony of course have released some amazing products as well we need to talk about, at least briefly. First of all, Sony released the a7R5, an amazing sounding camera, and Nikon released an amazing looking lens, an f4 600mm lens with a built-in 1.4 extender. And while the price is eye-watering for that lens, I think it's one that would be amazing to use in the field, because having the ability to simply switch on and off an extender in the field will be an amazing feature to have, and it's actually something that I think Canon will introduce slowly over the next few years in their big prime lenses as well. So well done Nikon, you've certainly outdone yourself when it comes to lenses in 2022. When it comes to cameras, I'm a little bit surprised that Nikon hasn't released another sort of camera that introduces some more of the features of the Z9, but hopefully that's something that we're going to see in 2023, because I think Nikon really needs a smaller, lighter and cheaper camera with some amazing features. When it comes to the Sony a7R5, I haven't actually looked too much into the camera, but it sounds amazing. Same megapixels as the a7R4 and all around improved. So if you have that camera, or if you're looking into the camera, make sure to give me some insider information about it, how you're going with it in the field. Because I know, for instance, with the a7R4, people had some issues, for instance, on the 200 to 600mm lens when it came to autofocusing sometimes, and it was a good camera, the a7R4, but I think the a7R5 is much improved. Is that your impression as well? Make sure to let me know in the comments. So now I've talked for much longer than I anticipated in this video, but I'm just so happy to be back here with all of you, and just being able to do a video like this just feels so nice. Of course, it's still a long way to 100% recovery, and I had to cancel some amazing trips that I had planned for December and January, but just being able to be back here and connect with all of you just feels amazing. So if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up for it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're not a sub yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And I will see you guys in the next video very soon. Bye.